It was Sunday, December 4th, 2022. And he had no idea what his day was going to start like and could not expect for this day to go this way. His abuser would finally attack him and be her last attack on him. In the morning, Sunday, December 4th, 2022. She was sleeping. He was up since early in the morning dealing with the kids. 2 babies, 9 months old, twin girls, 9 months old, fraternal twins, not identical, 9 months old, his 5-year-old son from another relationship, and one of her multiple children with multiple dads, her child, and he was in the basement. His 5-year-old son from another relationship was trying to find a toy, couldn't find a toy, and was asking his dad for help. His dad was sitting down in a chair with the twin girls and his son at this point 2 feet away from him. And I guess the kids must have woke her up where she did not like it. And during this time, she proceeded to come down the stairs and she proceeded to verbally abuse a 5-year-old child with things like, quote unquote, "Your dad is shit and that's why I'm fucking other men," she tells a 5-year-old child as he looks at his father in confusion. She then, as his father is sitting down and him watching, turns evil, turns demonic, and just full out attacks. His father would take close to 15 punches in the face, in the head, in the back of the head, side of the head, face, in the back, while all he could do is try to protect the children and dome over the innocent 9-month-old twin girls that she could have very easily killed if he didn't do such. This attack led the 5-year-old son to try to grab the phone to call 911 as he's watching this abuser, Jennifer Moles, full out screaming at his dad that she's gonna kill him and attacking him. He never once tried to defend himself. He didn't even put his hands up to defend himself, all because he knew if he had of, he would have been the one arrested. His 5-year-old son ends up getting hit in the head from her as he was trying to call 911, and she was trying to get the phone away from him at the same time. And police finally show up. She was arrested, removed from the home. He wanted to press charges for domestic abuse and domestic assault. She was up for charges, so she was being charged for domestic, where at that point, Children's Aid were automatically involved, and before the police would even leave the scene, Children's Aid the supervisor of Children's Aid in Woodstock, Ontario, Oxford County, Mary Sue Bernard, clears with the officers that she has zero concern with the children in the father's care, as they are the victims of this woman's abuse and her attacks. So she was arrested, and during her being arrested, she starts resisting arrest, starts freaking out and flipping out. Well, anybody that's ever been arrested or dealt with the police and refused even the slightest and resisted even the slightest knows cops will not just say, "Oh, excuse me, can you please just listen to me and put your hands in these beautiful little bracelets?" No. An officer is trained to take control of the situation. If you're resisting, they're more forceful at that point. And then when she was arrested and in the cells, Constable Rudy of Woodstock Police would inform him that she's flipping out, she's just freaking right out in the cells, and that they weren't even going to go try to talk to her or anything because she was just going berserk and multiple personality type. So during this time, her friend, who is also one of the guys she was cheating on him with, Derek Innes, decides he's going to try to kidnap the two twin girls and take them to his place. Well, the police had something different to say about that and made him return the girls, or he was going to be charged with kidnapping. So he does such. Like the coward he is, he actually tried it, you know. So then, she is on supervised visits with Children's Aid at the Children's Aid office. And being charged, she's supposed to be staying at her dad's and her mommy's place. So then, 2 days after that, the abuser's father decides, hey, and this is probably where she got her raising as an abuser in life, because her father not even caring about his 9-month-old granddaughters being right there 2 feet away from him, decides he wants to try to get physical with the baby's daddy. And the baby's daddy was a lot smarter than they expected. They were trying to set him up so they can turn around and say, oh, he's the violent one, when it failed on them because it showed character. It showed character. So he could have turned around and laid the old man out, put him in the hospital on breathing tubes, feeding tubes. But he said no. He's going to utilize this with court to show the environment of abuse that these kids are in, with people that are supposed to be adults and parents but don't know how to act like it and keep safety for the innocent children. So then he has a little talking with by the cops over that. They had their little talking with him over that. Then the abuser's sister, Michelle Moles, decides, hey, we got nothing better to do. She's on disability simply because she can't put down a fork. So I got nothing better to do. I'm a man hater anyway, she says. Let's just stir up more drama. I'm bored. I'm a small town. Boredom on ODSP taxpayer dollars, so I can keep eating and just cause drama. So what does she do? She's trying to post stuff online, and it gets to the point where, again, only a man or I should say, only a coward for a man would actually even agree to something like this, but they were trying to line up somebody or wanted somebody to basically do a home invasion on this guy's house, even though the kids could have been there and would have been there. So they had no regards that innocent children were there. They just want their drama, their little shit, you know. So then they get, and again, I only say coward because only a coward for a man would actually be okay with doing something or offering to be the one to do a home invasion on somebody, even if they know, and even knowing that the kids are probably going to be there. So this Matthew Kyle guy, friend of theirs, oh, I'll do it. So then the police get involved. Woodstock police didn't want to do anything about it. They says, oh, well, if they ever show up, then just call the police, they say. Well, this guy turns around and says, listen, I don't think so. You don't want to do anything about it. Then if they do show up, I will call the police, but it'll be to tell you how many body bags to bring, because they ain't leaving alive. Like, you don't want to do your job. You want to allow this to go on. But yet if a man made these kind of threats towards a woman, that woman or that man would be toast, done for. So then more illegal actions would continue. Stalking, multiple police reports, multiple harassment and stalking and threats and so forth done by the abuser that the Woodstock police have actually continued to allow. And the family courts would refuse any voice from this man. This man struggled to get a lawyer for the family courts because he had a legal aid certificate, but legal aid wasn't taking his case, saying, well, we can't take your case because they were having issues getting paid from legal aid. So the legal aid lawyers that weren't taking my case because I had a legal aid certificate, if I had the cash to pay for a retainer, that same lawyer that wouldn't do it for the legal aid certificate will do it for the cash retainer because they were having issues getting paid from legal aid. So he was forced to represent himself. And consistently, every time he tried to have a voice or speak, he was shut down. He was threatened to be put in contempt. He was threatened with fines. He was threatened with jail. He was yelled at. He was put, never given. The courts started even making orders at court dates that he didn't even know were happening. There was court dates going on that nobody was telling him he had court for to defend himself against anything, and they were making orders, and he was the applicant, and they were making orders without even letting him know that there was even court happening. So the harassment, the continued threats, the continued illegal actions were continued to get away with. And then she gets involved with a children's aid worker of Woodstock, Ontario, Oxford County, that ends up being one of her besties. And that is a whole chapter on its own, because a lot of corruption starts coming to light. A lot of lies, a lot of perjury to the courts, a lot with evidence and video recordings to back and everything up and discredit everything they said. But you people need to really realize and really understand This man is fighting a broken system by himself. And it's not broken in the sense of broken, it's broken in the sense of it's very built around females. It's built for females and not for men in any way. There's zero resources for men out there. So, this is a man that has been fighting, representing himself in courts, fighting a corrupt system, fighting children's aid, fighting a gender-favored system for our kids and what's best for them. This is a man that's been doing it alone, and this is a man that gets stronger and wiser every day. When you have a purpose in life and it's to make change, and you know the change is for the positive, and you know the change is for the better, and you know the change is for what's the most needed, you don't give up. The world is going to know this story. And I'm not the best at getting it out in the social media and the videos and so forth, but because of all the evidence I have, I would set up a seminar. I would, or whatever they're called, like there's a lot of illegal actions going on, and innocent kids are being hurt and being abused because nobody's standing up for them. People are too afraid of the system. People are too many sheeps out there. And then you got cowards like, child abuse enabling, child abuse condoning, cowards like these individuals, Jeffy, Derek, Kevin, Tony, John, or Jonathan, anybody that is desperate enough to want to be with somebody that can hurt people. Like this abuser is documented. She has attacked one of her child's grandmothers right in front of him, with him less than 5 feet, watching, screaming at his mom, saying, "Mommy, stop! You're hurting my grandma. Stop!" And he had to listen to his mom choke or screaming to his mom that his mom was telling his grandma she was gonna kill him as she's choking her out. Grabbed her by the throat and choke slammed her to the ground. How do you do that to an elderly person and feel good about yourself and be able to sleep at night? Animals, she puts them out. Animals out into it. Like she had a couple cats. She ended up in the middle of winter, put them outside, refused to let them back in, and now I personally know one of the people in the neighborhood that took up one of the cats and has loved it and cared for it since. And the other one, nobody knows. Her bestie, that was her neighbor, was supposed to care for it, but she's another freak on her own. So nobody ever knows, but she's had the vets and pet control and that threatening her with fines and stuff because of her neglect and her abuse to the animals. Like this woman is, and not even just her, but women and men too, because not all women are the same and not all men are the same. But women and men that are like this individual and like which her family and how they are, her sister and her dad, how they are. No, these are the toxic people in life that the world needs or could do without, kind of deal. Like these are the toxic people in life that makes it hard for our children. Our children didn't ask to come into this world. Our selfish adult needs is what brought them here. Why are we forcing them to be punished and abused? All because of a gender favored system. This isn't right. I'm not going to stop telling this story, and the whole story is going to be told. I don't care if it takes 20 videos, 40 videos, the whole story is going to be told, and everything that's being told is everything that I have evidence to back up. So there's not even going to be any hearsay. It's everything that I have evidence to back everything up. Don't be so desperate to be with somebody that can hurt innocent kids, animals, people weaker than them. It just shows how much of a coward you are, how much of a desperate loser you are. And maybe you do deserve the trash. Trash bag needs to go into a trash can, right? Next week, we're going to talk about and be informed about Elizabeth Katsubik, or Kabusek, of Children's Aid, Oxford County, Woodstock, Ontario. And the public is going to know about her illegal role that helped ruin the innocent lives of 2 and possibly 4 now innocent children. It's sad.